All right, happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to today's live onboarding session of Better Email. My name is Jimmy Mackin, founder of Listing Leads, founder of Beacon, and founder of Better Email. I am joined by my partner in crime, Lee Atkins, who is everything behind the scenes, making sure the wheels are turning, the trains are running on time. We're thrilled to have you on today's call, Lee.
Awesome.
Lee,
Good to be here.
I want to set the stage here because I did an email about this yesterday, just to sort of to our list. Say, hey, listen, just give you guys a heads up. We're doing a live onboarding call today at 2 p.m. We had over 500 people sign up to join today's session, and that was with basically like 18 hours of notice.
Right.
And the reason I think that's the case, because I want to give you some perspective here, is the reason I think that's the case is because what happens right now is I think a lot of agents, and let me know in the chat if you guys can relate to this. A lot of agents I talk to, people who are part of the listing leads community, people that I have a chance to meet on the road, tell me that they've got these big databases, maybe 1,000 people, 5,000 people, some as high as like 100,000 people, and they feel like they're leaving money on the table. And so in the chat, let me know, like, do you have that feeling like that you should be getting more business from the people who are in your CRM, in your database? Do you feel like you're missing out on opportunities and you can't quite figure out why? And you can see here, Janine's like, yep, we're going to probably see a lot of yeses flowing here. Kelly, yep, Jen. And you know, so if you take that problem for a moment, and you look at it, what you realize is we know that if you communicate regularly with your database, things of value, that you can establish sort of brand recognition or name recognition, right, within your network. We know that the consumer hires the agent who is the agent they believe is going to help them get the job done, the one who is able to instill confidence in them, trust in them. Not the agent that is the one who is they see everywhere. That's valuable, but the one that they have confidence in. And they also know, we also all understand this, that staying in touch with our sphere and our database, it is a weekly job amongst 100 other jobs that all of us already have. And what I would say here is, someone's going to, would you mind closing the blinds behind you? Don't worry, I'm going to be screen sharing in a second here, Valerie. That's like the city of Boston right there. And listen, Valerie, we have like 3 hours of sunlight in Boston a day now. Like, I want to soak all of that in.
That's your aura, baby.
That's it. Exactly. So, but the reason why many of you have felt this way, that you are not getting the business that you should, is because there's one big problem. And that problem is friction. Friction kills all momentum. Friction in creating the content, friction in sending the emails, friction in figuring out who to follow up with, friction in figuring out ways to automate it. Like, there's too much friction in delivering things of value. So,
Well, and
what
Jimmy,
we
to be
will,
fair, we've been living in that friction, right? We've been figuring it out so we can
yep.
do it for people. It's not fun. I'm not going to glamorize it. It's not sexy.
Well, you're right, Lee, in the sense that it's one of the things that we know to be true about this topic is that when it comes to email marketing, it's this consistency of what's happening right now. And by the way, today's call, this is gonna be a 30-minute session. We're gonna get you onboarded into Better Email, get you where you actually can start sending emails today. I mean, in this call, this is not gonna be a webinar. We tell you how great email marketing is. We'll get you onboarded into the product. This is the thing that's really exciting, is that today I saw a stat earlier today about the fact that we have seen a 300% increase in the number of homeowners who now have above a 5% interest rate. So 2022, that number is 1 in every 10. 2026, that number is 1 in 3. And so that stat, which is a really interesting stat that has implications for sellers and buyers alike, is something that we have to communicate. And I'm going to tell everybody on today's call, everyone who watches this call and the recording, the most important lesson I learned in 2025, something that has helped me think about marketing and sales and conversion. And it's the 3 most important words in marketing, which is bring something new. Every time we follow up, let's bring something new, something interesting, something relevant, a stat, a story, something that's going to help them understand the market a little bit more clearly so that they can take the appropriate step forward. So, on that note, Lee, today's call is Better Email Onboarding. What we're going to do today is I'm going to take you through the onboarding process from soup to nuts. I'm going to say, here's exactly what we're going to do together, and we're going to follow along together as a team. And so everyone here is going to be able to get onboarded into the app today. I'm going to get you onboarded into the product. I'll walk through our two core features, which is our automation feature, which allows you to automate really critical emails to send out every week. By the end of today's call, you can actually automate approximately 105 emails a year being sent out to your database. So we're going to achieve that. And then I'm going to walk you through our broadcast feature, which is sending off one-off emails, new listing alerts. Maybe you have a market update you want to give, or more importantly, maybe I just wrote you an email that you can send to your database right now
Stay
with no
tuned.
friction, right? No step. I mean, like just like that. So, Lee, let me go ahead and share my screen,
Let's do it.
and we'll get rid of the glare here. Okay, cool. So, first thing I want you to do is I want everyone here to go to trybetteremail.com. I'll drop the link in the chat for you right now, and I'm going to walk you through this process. Bear with me 1 second. Is go to that link for me. And when you're going to that link, I'm going to open up a new tab so you guys can all see this as well. I'll actually sign out before I sign in here. Let me do that with you here. Okay. So when you go to Better Email, the first thing you're going to do is click on the Get Started option. When you click on Get Started, I want you just to go ahead and sign in, create your own account. So your first name, last name, and then I'm going to take you through this process here, which is I'll put an email in here and then a password. Okay. So you sign in, create your account. You're now going to be brought into our onboarding flow. Let me stop right there. So once you've signed in, just give me a yes in the chat. Like make sure that you're here on this screen. I want to make sure everyone's following along here before we move any further. Yeah, W works as well, Lee. Thank you.
Couldn't help it.
All right. So trybetteremail.com, click on sign in, and now you're going to be brought into our onboarding flow. Perfect. Thank you, Jacob. Yeah, Rhonda, we'll drop the link. It's trybetteremail.com. I realized I just shared it to literally just the host. Thanks, Lee.
Okay.
We'll drop it in there. Awesome. Okay. So now that you're there, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to start off by saying, okay, what is your major goal here? This is actually going to help us in the future personalize recommendations to you. What are you trying to achieve with us? Do you want to have experts write your emails? Do you want your emails to sound more like you? Do you want to automate some of that marketing? Are you trying to be more consistent? Are you trying to actually get ROI? What are your primary goals? What are you trying to achieve with email marketing? I want to make sure you're in the right place because for us, like if your goal is to write better emails, if your goal is to make them sound more like you, if you're looking to automate things, like this is what we do. So I just want to make sure that you're in the right place. So tell me what are your primary goals, okay? The second step is, are you setting this up today for yourself or do you want to do email marketing on behalf of your team or your brokerage? So you can just choose, and you can, oh, by the way, just to be clear, you can always go back and change this. So if you just want to do for yourself today, even if you're a team lead, you can go back and change this later on.
Yeah.
Next, tell us how many contacts you want to nurture. This isn't actually the number of contacts, Lee, you have in your CRM.
Right.
This is the number of contacts you have that you want to nurture. Now, everyone in today's call, by the way, is going to get 72% off their first month with us. So there's going to be, I mean, you're going to have a massive discount just to be able to experience the value of Better Email for the first 30 days. But you can see here, our pricing is transparent. So if you've got like 1,000 people in your database and you want to basically nurture those 1,000 people, great. And by the way, even if you have a super large database, let's say you're like, hey, Jimmy, I've got 25,000 people, but for the purposes of just using Better Email, getting more familiar with it, I only want to start with like 3,000. That's totally fine with us. No problems there. So it isn't the number of people you have in your CRM. It's the number of people that you're nurturing per month. Okay.
Which is
So
different. I want to call that out a bit because almost everybody charges by number of contacts that you have, not sends.
that's right. That's right. So we want to be really simple and really clear and really transparent with the pricing, which is, and by the way, to give you some perspective on this, talking about pricing, when we looked at the landscape of tools that offer automation and broadcast functionality, we are literally charging 1/3 of the cost. And I think delivering as much, if not more, value in certain ways. And so this is we're really proud of the fact that this is a low cost item. And you can literally start today for $17. Okay. Once you've done that, once you select your contact list, then you're going to move into your import your contacts. Now, we do have an option for a CSV file, so we'll talk about that in a little bit here. But we currently integrate right now with Follow Boss, Bold Trail, Brivity, Sync. You can see it all on the screen here. Any of these companies right now that we currently integrate with, you're going to be able to simply select the company. In this case, if I'm doing a Follow Up Boss, I would log into Follow Up Boss to get my account set up, or it's going to be an API key. Lee, could you just talk a little bit about this? 'Cause I know some people have questions about where to get their
Yeah,
API key
I
or
know.
how to get access to that.
Yeah, and it feels really scary. It's truly not. We have support articles, and pretty much in each of the integrations you click, there's a really short article or video on where to get your API key. So an API key is simply an identifier that you're getting from your CRM that when you put it into Better Email, it'll sync your contacts and your team members and your tags and all those things.
Correct.
So it feels scary, but it's basically a long number that you get from your CRM and you just pop it right into Better Email and you only have to do it once.
That's right. And we offer this is important. We offer a two-way sync. So we're the only email marketing tool on the platform that does basically email marketing like a MailChimp or Constant Contact that integrates with all of these CRMs. And we do a two-way sync. So we'll actually send events back to your CRM. So emails, opens, clicks, bounces, unsubscribe, all of that will sync back to your profile, which is important for what I'll talk about a little bit later, which is this idea of really how to maximize your ROI through email marketing through ongoing follow-up. Okay, so once you've got that step, and by the way, if you want to skip that for now, totally fine. You don't have to finish it today. You can skip that for now. Click on continue. And then I just want to know how important personalization is to your business. On a scale of 1 to 10, hey, I want generic emails. I don't really care. Just send it and go. Or it's really, really important to me. Let us know. And then the next step is talk about your communication style. We kind of broke it up into what we think are sort of the four primary ways in which people communicate in real estate: direct, approachable, expert, formal. We didn't intentionally include casual because casual, I think, is not the right kind of communication style for following up. But what is your style? And by the way, you might be direct and approachable. You can see here, I can select both of those options and it will actually create a sentence for you. So which sentence sounds the most like you? This first week in the market is everything, but don't worry, I got you covered, priced it right, and we'll have buyers competing. Let's make sure you're set up for a success from day one. Or are you more direct? This first week in the market determines what happens next, price it right, and you'll have multiple offers, miss the window, and you'll be playing catch up. Or are you more formal? And again, you can mix and match this, but find the one that feels most like you from a communication perspective, how you would best describe yourself. Okay, then next, what we're going to do is we're going to set up your signature. And just make sure, let me know real quick. And yeah, by the way, just super, super, super clear. If you already are a part of Listing Leads, if you have a Listing Leads account, you can sign into Better Email through Listing Leads. So Listing Leads provides all of the content for all of your marketing, social media, videos, text, and sales scripts. Better Email is the software product that we just rolled out that allows you to basically take those templates and actually send emails out. Okay. So signature, I'll drop it in here. Jimmy Mackin. My reply signature is going to be, I'll just do Jimmy Mackin at Gmail. And what you'll notice here is that you notice how we actually are creating a dedicated subdomain for you. This is super important. One of the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to doing mass email marketing to oftentimes, Lee, a cold email marketing list. They use their primary domain.
Right.
Big mistakes I see
What
people
could
make.
go wrong? What could go wrong?
I mean, the big mistakes I see, Lee, are people sending mass emails to their CRM. Inevitably, your emails will end up in spam, and inevitably, you will have issues communicating with your clients in the future. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I see people oftentimes abusing their email right? Using sort of their primary domain, and then being kind of caught in spam jail and having to spend $3,000 or $4,000 with an expert to basically get them back in the good graces of Google and Outlook. So what we do is this is one of the kind of core parts of Better Email is we create your own dedicated subdomain on our email infrastructure that ensures that we are doing everything by the book to make sure your emails get delivered and maximize our chances for getting them in to people's inboxes. And actually, let me know in the chat, like, right now, if we were to say, like, do you have a lot of cold leads in your database? Put a W in the chat right now for me. Do you have a lot of cold leads in your database? Meaning people you haven't done business with, people you haven't actually, communicated with, people that maybe you bought a Google lead or a Facebook lead or a Zillow lead, but you don't have a relationship with them. Okay. So here's the thing. And you can see, I mean, Nico, Greg, Jacob, yep, Janie, yep, Gail, Maggie. Okay. This is the thing is that a lot of email marketing tools only let you email like quote unquote warm leads.
Right.
I think that's a non-starter for us. We wanted to make sure that Better Email could actually email cold leads. You upload cold leads to your database within MailChimp, they'll ban you. I mean, like that. They're like, oh, sorry, your open rate's too high, your spam rate's too high. Obviously, we want to monitor those things, but we're not going to penalize you for trying to warm up your database. Is all I'm getting at here. So, okay, cool. And then once you do that, once you've added your signature, I'll go ahead and add my signature here as well. And I put my email, okay, founder, okay. Put your website in here. Okay, cool, all looks good. You can change the disclaimer. We just have a standard disclaimer there. That's for compliance purposes. Good to go. Once I've done that, I am now all set. And then I can just go ahead and make sure I have the right plan in place. As I mentioned, everyone in today's call is getting the sort of founder discount for the first month. It's going to allow you to use the product today, start sending emails today, but have a incredibly deep discount so you can make sure you're taking full advantage of that. All right, let me come back here for a second, Lee. I'm going to go ahead and sign in now and walk everybody through the process. Because once you've signed in, bear with me 1 second, I'll get signed in here right now. Once you've signed in, you're going to be brought to this page, and I'll complete the setup process for you here. Okay, great. There we go. Perfect. And if anyone's stuck or has any issues, definitely let us know in the chat right now. We're happy to dive into this with you.
Yeah, totally. Okay. I'll drop a note into if you have a real specific thing, message support at Better Email. Trybetteremail.com. I'll drop the link. But we can definitely help you. Gabe, no, you don't need DKIM. We do all that good stuff for you.
That's right. Everything's dialed in.
Technical stuff.
Yep. And so right now, yeah, I think Greg's saying my Better Email opt-outs and unsubscribes will help me cut my existing database by 50%. That's exactly right. I mean, like a no is almost as good as a sale. Okay. All right. So now let's go through and let's talk about first automations. Okay. I'm going to talk about automations because at this point, to be clear, I'll go back to if you have your CRM set up, your integrations are dialed in. You have your signature dialed in. If you went through the entire onboarding flow, if you skip some of those steps just in the future here, if you skip some of those steps, you can come back here on the left-hand side and you can go ahead and adjust this. So if you want to resync your database, or if you sync maybe wrong API key, you can always go back and adjust this. You can obviously see all your contacts once your contacts are uploaded. This is where I mentioned you can actually upload a CSV file. If you want to upload a CSV file as well, you can do that. But if you ever want to go back and adjust your settings, you can do so by clicking on the left-hand side, and you can change all of that. All right. So starting with automations. Automations are a way for you to automatically send 2 emails every week that are new and timely and relevant. And we have 2 different automations. I'm going to go ahead and click on this create right now so you can see this. When I click on automations, I'm going to click on create automations. We have the email of the week, and we have the deal of the week. Now, I'll walk through both of these slowly, but an automation effectively is every single week you can enroll your contacts in to receive either a timely and relevant email that we wrote for you or an auto generated deal of the week campaign. So a lot of our clients, we have 4,000 plus members a part of listing leads. A lot of our members of listing leads have begged us for the last year to create a way to automate this process. You now can do that with better email. And so, Lee, as I pull this up, I want to maybe just give some perspective on deal of the week, and I'll slow the game down just a little bit. So, deal of the week, we have this free tool, but this is really helpful to see kind of how this all works. So, the way that we do a deal of the week is I'll come in here, I'll type in Manchester, New Hampshire. I'll do Boston as well. These are not towns that are next to each other, obviously. Portsmouth, Nashua. Okay. So, deal of the week, I'm going to go ahead and just create one here just to give you some perspective. And I'm going to use this tool to find the best deal of the week. This is one of the free tools that we offer if you ever want to just kind of do it yourself or just have a DIY tool. And what we do, what we do behind the scenes here is we will look at all of the recent results of what's actually hit the market, how many views and how many saves it has on Zillow, and we are going to identify the best deal of the week. And as you can see here with this email with this deal, it's got an 8% save rate. Now, what's insanely powerful about that is that tells us that this home is going to sell a lot faster than other homes in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. If a home has above like a 6 or 7% save rate, it is something that's going to move a lot quicker. Most homes have literally like a 2% or below save rate. And so what we do every week, and we'll walk through how to configure this, is we'll analyze Zillow, we'll analyze all the new homes in your target area and your target price point, and we'll find the home that has the most views and the most saves. And then we'll take the information from that property and we will create an email, and I'll show you what it looks like, that looks like this. We take our proven deal of the week template and we take the data from that we gathered from this particular listing and we create an outbound marketing campaign like this. Now, we don't have to have the agent's permission. We don't have to have access to your MLS. This is all publicly available information.
Let's talk a little more about that, Jimmy, because I think that gets people a little bit.
Sure,
The fact that
sure.
we're not sending their listing, and we just had a question as well about sending, your own listing. So
Yeah,
what we're doing here is obviously, as Jimmy just said, we're finding an evergreen body of listings so that there will be one every week. So that's part of the reason for having a broader area, a broader price range. It
yep,
needs to be evergreen. If you want it to be magic, it needs to be
yeah,
evergreen. If you want to
that's
send
right.
it yourself, which is very much a thing, you can do it through our system, but you would be sending a broadcast type of email tied to that. So I just want
That's
to be
exa-
really clear.
That's exactly right. And because we're not providing photos, because we're not giving the address, because we're basically saying, "Hey, I've done this research for you. I found this house. Do you want to get me more details?" We are completely compliant. And I'll say this on the record, which is we've coached thousands and thousands of agents to do the deal of the week. My buddy Sharon, who popularized idea, has coached 50,000 agents on deal of the week. Like, no one has had issues with this campaign because you're not disclosing the address and you're not disclosing the photos and you're not taking any of the IP, if you will, of the
Right.
actual listing. You're
You're not
literally just saying,
right. You're
yeah,
not
go
saying
ahead.
it's your listing. You're not misrepresenting that it's your listing. You say there is a listing
Correct.
that I have
That
access
is.
to.
There is their listing. And so come back to the deal of the week. So you can see here that flow that you just saw with deal of the week was I can create that and automate that now with better email. So when I click on deal of the week, I click on get started. I'm going to start typing in, a few of the areas that I service, and we recommend an area, and I'll do a few right now in Auburn. We recommend doing at least like 4 to 5, depending on how many listings you have hitting the market. I want to see at least 20 new listings hitting the market in your filter. So if it's like 3 houses, it's going to be too narrow. If it's 300 houses, it's too broad. So we want to have at least like between 20 and 40 new listings hitting the market in that area. So I'll do Auburn, I'll do Portsmouth, I'll do Nashua, I'll throw in Concord. I'm running out of towns in New Hampshire here.
It's not
Okay.
that big, but
No, it's
Hollis,
not that.
Hollis
Oh,
in
that's
there.
like
It's pretty
that's
big.
right. All right. And then what will happen is we'll actually analyze that search criteria right now on the spot and just make sure, hey, okay, cool. We got enough homes to work with. All right. And then in this case, this is where I would connect my CRM. And I'll just go through this process real quickly here because I haven't done it right now. But I'll go ahead and log in and get logged in through Follow Boss, grant access. You guys can see how fast this is. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. That's great. That's connected. And it will take a minute or so to kind of get all dialed in. Come back to automations and we'll get that going there. Okay, cool. So I'll type that back in. Auburn, New Hampshire, Portsmouth. And by the way, just real quickly, Lee, on that same note, CRM sync can take how long? Because I know people will be asking about that. If you have a lot of contacts or you have a big database, how long does that typically take usually?
Yeah, I mean, you should see progress within 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes.
Cool.
It does take a minute, but it will show you, as you can see at the top, that it's syncing.
Yep.
But also be mindful, I want to be clear about this. It'll say syncing throughout the time that you're here. It is resyncing and staying updated. So I want to be
Yeah.
clear that if you see it syncing, you connected it 3 months ago, you're also cool. It's resyncing.
Yeah. Yeah, we generally sync your database every. I think it depends on the CRM, but anywhere between 4 to 6 hours. So several times per day, it's going to automatically sync. Okay, so real quickly though, I want to talk about audiences. So in this case, like Follow Boss is currently syncing right now. The way that we organize your audiences across the board, regardless of your CRM, is going to be tags. And we could do an entire masterclass on tagging. But the way I think about tags is you have three primary tags I would have, which is number one, prospects, number two, clients, number three, everyone. Now, you can filter your tags. You can create tags in your CRM like based on area and price range and stage of where they're at in the process and original source where they came in from. You can do to your heart's content, you can build all that. But at the minimum, I want you to have at least three lists: prospects, clients, everyone. Because better email is great for small batch email, but it's really good for large scale mass email, which is what we're trying to do here. I mean, if I am Cora on today's call and I've got 25,000 people in my database, okay, if I send an email, even if I get a 10% open rate on that email, I just engaged 2,500
Right.
people. So I love small batch emails that have a 30%, 40%, 50% open rate. I'm a huge fan of that. More to you, more power to you. But look at the sheer volume of people you can engage with one simple campaign.
Well, you
Okay.
got to get
So
there, right, Jimmy? You got the big list. It's the funnel. I mean, we know this. We preach this every Monday.
that's exactly right. So you when you're creating your deal of the week automation, come through. So and by the way, you can go in your CRM and say, you know what, I'm going to assign these 6,000 contacts to the deal of the week and just have a deal of the week tag. You could have, if you service a large geographic area, I would break that up into maybe two or three deals of the week that you can then subscribe, those contacts to as well. So you can do multiple deals of the week. The beauty of better email is we're not going to charge you per send. We're just charging on the total number of contacts you're nurturing per month. That's all we're doing right now. So you can literally send 15 emails a month to your database, and you're going to pay the exact same price as you would if you were sending even less than that, which obviously is what we want you to encourage you to do. Okay. So then once I've selected that, the next option I have here, and this is for teams, this is an incredibly powerful feature. Real quickly in the chat, let me know. Let me know. Do you currently run a team? Put a W in the chat if you run a team. Put an L if you don't right now. Just let me know. Do you currently have a team? So Jacob, no team. Yep. Okay. Okay. We had a few team members. Awesome.
All right.
Yep. Okay.
Should have run a
Lots
poll,
of.
Jimmy.
Well, we have a poll. We have a poll, Lee. I'm sorry. I'm
It's
sorry.
all
Hold
good.
on.
It's all good.
Hold on. Let's just put. Can we put the poll up, Lee?
I
Apologize.
mean, I should have had it ready. My bad.
It's all right. It's all right. I didn't even know how to do a poll within. Oh no,
It's
hold
all
on.
good.
Listen, everybody. Let's all just give a second here. I'm gonna throw the poll up here.
Live on the air. You got it, or
Live
you
on
want
the
me to go?
air. I'll grab it, Lee. I'll grab it.
You're good. It's roll.
Yeah.
I named it funny.
Okay. Oh, is it roll? Okay, I got you. Thanks, Lee. There we go. Drop your role right now? Are you a team lead? Are you an agent? Are you a broker owner? Are you doing ops? First off, Lee, I love the fact that we have ops people on today's call.
Yep.
We got a lot of
I
ops people
mean,
showing up there. I love it.
yeah, my
I
people.
love it. That's it. So for my team leads and my broker owners, which is a good chunk of the audience right now who's tuning in today's session, for our team leads and our broker owners, this feature we'll talk about that. We'll talk about this at the very end. I'll talk about the very end, because I want to be respectful for all of our
Yep.
solo agents on the call. But we have a killer feature for team leads and broker owners that allows you to email to your agents' databases through Better Email without them ever having to remember to do it or ever having them to log in. It's called team sending. We'll talk through that. So you look at the numbers here. The majority of people on today's call are agents, and then we have a handful that are in the team lead and broker. So we'll cover that shortly. Okay, cool. So moving on from that. Now, once I've created my deal of the week, I've clicked my audience. I'm going to go ahead and click on review and activate. And you can see here, this is the locations, this is the property type, this is the price range, this is a list, this is who I'm enrolling into this campaign. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on activate campaign. And now I'm done. Now I have turned on a deal of the week automation. What's really magical about this is that every week before we send the email out, we will send you what we refer to as our preview email. And in that preview email, we will actually include the email that we are sending. So I'll pull it up real quick so you guys can see this. But I'll give an example of deal of the week. Deal of the week. I'll grab an example of this. Lee, can you just talk through the skipping feature too while I pull this up for everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's going to happen, because this is automated, and number one, it's sending out a deal that you need to know what it is. And number two, the email of the week is going to be sending out content that you probably want to lay eyes on, just so you know what you're sending. You're going to get an email 24 hours in advance of the automation going out, and it's going to have a few things in it. It's going to have information about the property. It's going to have a link right at the bottom that says if you'd like to skip this email, click this link. That's all you have to do. You don't have to log in. You don't have to do anything crazy. Hit the button. It doesn't go. You can also go in the back end and stop the campaign. But
Yeah.
this is your easy button for, hey, this is going to happen unless you hit this button.
Yeah. So 24 hours beforehand, we will send you this email. You can review the listing so you know which listing it is. You can skip the email for whatever reason you don't want to send it out. Maybe you have your own listing or you're doing some other campaign. And then you can actually see the email that we created for you. So the subject line and the actual copy. Now, what's really powerful about this is that every single week it's going to be a different email, different copy, different angle, different listing, which in this case keeps you up to date with what's happening. Like listing alerts are great, but the problem is listing alerts, everybody offers a listing alert. And what consumers want is they don't want options, they want a plan. And so by highlighting the best listing, it puts you in a position where now you're kind of showcasing and demonstrating that you actually have your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the market. So this is an important point then. Every automation that we create, every automation that we create, we will send you a preview email before the email is sent. So we will never automate an email without you at least being aware of it. You don't have to do anything. We just want to make you aware of what's going out. So coming back to the email automation here, that was our deal of the week automation. Let me recap the things that you need to remember. Number one, you can set up multiple deals of the week for multiple areas. Number two, a good deal is an area that has at least like 15 to 20 listings. Number three, you can assign any deal of the week to any tag in your CRM. And number four, once you've done that, you will automate the entire process and you will get a preview before we send the email out so you know what's going out. Those are the four important things I want you to remember. Now, if I go to create my next automation, which is the email of the week, and I'll just give you some perspective on this, is a concept that we introduced at Listing Leads, which is every week, me, myself, my team, we all get together and we write an email that's about something happening in the market. In this case here, this week we were talking about, essentially, you can see here, the fact that home buyers are canceling at the highest rate on record. Now, many of you probably have your leads on something about action plan, probably have your leads on something about like listing alert. But the problem, the big gap in your follow up is what's happening in the market. That's the gap. It's not about home values. It's not about, new listings. It's about what's happening in the market. And in order to do that, it has to always be timely and relevant. So as you can see with listing leads, we have literally spent the last 20 months creating hundreds of these timely, valuable emails that we provide to our members for them to send. The problem that we're solving with better email is we now can automate that. So all of those emails that are incredibly relevant and timely and useful, you now can literally click on get started. You can select the audience. In this case, I'll just choose the first one here again. I can select who I want to send on behalf of, and then I can go ahead and activate the campaign. Done. I mean, I now, Lee, let me give you some perspective. If I have 1,000 contacts in my database, okay.
Right.
Actually, Lee, launch the database poll for
Oh
me,
yeah, yeah,
please.
yeah. I got it.
Okay, we'll get this one right here. If I have 1,000 contacts in my database, and I just did those two automations, I effectively just automated, in this case, 80,000 emails to go out to my database over the next 12 months. Are you guys with me on this? Like within literally like 3 minutes, I have automated 80,000 contacts. So if I'm looking right now, we got some people who have 25,000 contacts, a few that have 50,000 and above. Most of you are kind of in, I would say, the 1,000 to 10,000 range. So if I've got 5,000 contacts in my database, like many of you do today, I can literally automate 2 emails per week, which is 10,000 per week, times, in this case, let's say 48 weeks of the year. That's 480,000 emails I just automated that are timely, that are relevant, that are unique, that are interesting, that actually get people to open, click, reply. I mean, that is what we're doing with better email. I mean, that's kind of the magic behind it. Okay. So on that note, you could see, and everyone can sort of see the results here of this too. I mean, most of you have that answer to the poll. Most of you have anywhere between 1,000 to about 5,000 contacts, kind of the sweet spot there. We got a few heavy hitters with above 50,000, but most of you are under that sort of 5,000 mark. Okay, cool. So Lee, we covered onboarding. We covered CRM sync. We covered setting up your signature. We covered configuring your automation. Now let's talk about broadcasts. So broadcasts are one-off emails that you can send. The use cases are going to be new listing, an important market update. Maybe you have an event that you're hosting. Maybe you want to promote a home that you just sold. These are sort of situational emails. And so within Better Email, we are adding in all of the templates that we have within listing leads are now going to be available to you. So if you wanted to do your own manual deal of the week, like we mentioned before, you can do that very simply through clicking the deal of the week template. If you wanted to do one that's maybe about a listing that's about to hit the market coming soon, you can do a coming soon. This is not public. This is a coming soon email for this listing. Our team crafts these emails for you, so you never have to think about what to write. Now, what you'll see here is you'll see we have this concept called template variables. So in this template, this is a home that we're promoting about to hit the market. If I click on this, I can just come in here and type in and enter in the template variables. In this case, this is if you're looking at reply, right?
Yeah, this is, and I'll clarify this a second while you add one. The
Yeah,
idea of this is just to engage. We're not setting up a fancy system that if they text deal, they get something automatically. It's just
yeah,
simply a keyword that if they text you, you're like, cool, they
yeah,
want the thing. So I just want to
yeah.
be clear about that.
Yeah, and what I just did though there, Lee, is I'm done with the
Right.
email. It's ready to rock and roll.
Filtering.
Now, we've integrated with AI, as you can imagine. So if you want to change the subject line, we can suggest a new subject line based on the content of the email, a new preview text based on the content of the email. You could even rewrite the entire email if you want to see another variation of it. You can rewrite the entire thing with AI, and we'll actually use some of the skills and GPTs we built for listing leads, and we'll actually have those in the actual template itself. So you can see here, I just rewrote that email. Okay, hey, this looks great. Let me go ahead and keep that. I'll add that. It updates it. Of course, if you want to manually edit it, which feels really archaic now to manually
I
do
know.
anything these days,
I have
right?
to
Like
type.
I opened up Google Docs say for the first time in like 3 months. I mean, it was a weird experience, but you of course can come through and manually add an image, add a link if you want as well. So that's an option. Okay. So let me come back though, because templates, that's great. Removes friction. That's easy. Awesome. But here's the thing is that what most people need is they don't need templates. They need emails they can send right now. And so this yesterday, this actually this morning, when I saw the news about what was happening with interest rates and what was happening with how many homeowners now currently have an interest rate above 5%, I immediately wanted to create a campaign for our community. So this goes back to my principle around about better email, which is bring something new. So I actually just wrote an email for you. You're now looking at the email, which is a quick update on the market worth knowing. I came across some useful mortgage data I want to share with you. In 2012, 2022, fewer than 1 in 10 homeowners had rates above 5%. Today, it's more than 1 in 3. When owners aren't locked in low rates, more homes come to the market. That's usually the point where timing starts to matter more. Want me to run numbers on your home so you can see what acting earlier versus later looks like. Okay. This email I wrote like
This
an
morning.
hour ago, right? I mean, like an hour ago. It's now in your account. And so what we're going to do is we're going to notify you when we have new emails that we want you to send that are relevant based on what's happening right now in today's market. And so I think one of the most important things that we're doing with this particular use case here is just making sure that like we're doing the heavy lifting for you. We're writing the emails for you. So now you can basically literally come in here, schedule it, click, choose the audience, boom, I'm done. Email goes out the door. Like, let me actually know in the chat, let me know how many of you feel like you would send a lot more emails if I wrote all of your emails for you. Just put a W in the chat. Like if me and my team were writing your emails for you, how many of you feel like you wouldn't have to think about it? Right? Robin, Lindsay, I mean yeah, I mean like look at the W's there. Okay. So that's the whole value prop of better email is that yes, you can automate your campaigns. You can automate your deal of the week. You can automate the email of the week. But then also when something happens in the market, we're going to create a template for you. You're going to come in here, just click, review it. If you want to change it, cool. If you want to rewrite it, cool. If you want to add some local data, cool. Click next, choose your audience, choose who you want to send it on behalf of, and then send the email. And then literally, we are done. So, my vision for everyone here is very simple. This is the vision we have for better email. It's a vision that Tom and I have, the vision Lee and I have is we want you to send more emails so you can get more deals. That's it. And the way to send more emails is to remove all the friction in the process, whether that's automating what we can automate or creating the emails that are worth sending right now. And if you're part of this community right now and you're like, I've tried everything else, it hasn't really worked, chances are because either you've been automating something that's like the same thing over and over and over again, or you signed up for an email marketing platform, but you never got around to actually sending emails. We want to solve both of those problems. All right, so Lee, let me stop real quick. Do we have any questions that came in? Because this was an onboarding call. I want to make sure that we get everyone dialed in on this.
I think I have everything tackled for the most part. Let me look back through.
Sure. Last question, which is how many emails based on the number of clients we have in the database?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, so just to be clear, the number of emails you can send, the way that our pricing works is the number of contacts, not the number of emails. So if you have 1,000 contacts as an example, your pricing with us would be like $59 a month or $60 a month, right? You can send those 1,000 contacts 10,000 emails. We're cool with that. So it's not the number of emails you're sending because that would just be really hard to track, and your bill would change every month. It'd be really
Right.
unpredictable.
It's a
It's like,
credit. It's a you have four widgets to use on your thing. It's too
yeah,
complicated.
it's too complicated. So how many emails do you want? How many contacts do you want to nurture that you want to either automate the follow up with or send emails to, that's the total number that we're going to focus on. Great question. All right, so Lee, let me leave with this. And by the way, let me know in the chat, like, was is it up to 1,000 contacts? No, Rhonda, no. It could be literally. I mean, literally be like 100,000 contacts.
Yeah,
So
Rhoda, there's no limit. There are pricing tiers though that are lower for lower contacts. So it's very inexpensive for a smaller database, but there's
yeah,
no upper limit.
Greg, great question. Chris and I are talking about that. So TBD on that one. Yeah, Mia, I've never done an email campaign. Mia, don't worry. Like this is actually something I should have mentioned earlier. We, how many of you right now really want to deal with DKIMs and SPF and all like the IP management and domain management of your email? Like it's a nightmare. It's just so insanely complicated. So if you've never done email marketing before, one of the things that you'll really appreciate about what we've done is we have something called an auto warming feature. So we will actually automatically warm up your campaign. So let's say you enroll 5,000 people into a deal of the week or email of the week. We will start sending to a smaller list the first week, and then we'll double that list every single week to ensure we maximize your deliverability and performance. All of the auto warming happens automatically. You don't actually have to do anything. That's true if you're using broadcast or if you're using our automation feature. It's our job to manage your IP. It's our job to manage your domain reputation. It's our job to make sure that your emails get sent and delivered in the inbox. That's a big part of our value proposition. You're not having to hire a consultant to do that. We're doing all that for you.
You just hit the purple buttons.
Hit the
That's your job.
That's exactly right. So on that note, and someone asked earlier about this idea of like, what about contracts? Better email is like everything that we do. Part of Foundation, which is a company that I own, it's sign up for a low cost or free trial and use the product. If you love it, keep it. If you don't, that's okay too. We're not locking you into large contracts, 6-month agreements, 12-month agreements. You don't have to talk to an SDR or a BDR or a salesperson. You don't have to spend 3 weeks in onboarding. I
You
mean,
can see the pricing right on the homepage.
I hope everyone appreciates how much of a breath of fresh air this approach is in real estate. Because how many of you have tried to sign up for a software tool in real estate and they don't show the pricing on the homepage, and you have to talk to a sales rep basically to even get a demo of the tool? Today, we onboarded you into the product. You are now, for those of you who signed into the product today, you are now an active user. You now can use the product. Congratulations, I am your salesperson and Lee is your onboarding person. Like, you're welcome. You are part of
There you
that.
go.
I mean, it's the way that it should be, in my opinion, which is why we built it the way we did it. Okay, so last thing for you. We talked about team sending. So the way that team sending works is that when you're in Better Email, if you are trying to configure an automation, in this case, I'll go ahead and just edit this automation. You'll notice that there's an option for team sending. So for those of you who are brokers or team leaders, you're going to love this feature, which is if Lee and I had a team of 10 agents, all 10 agents would show up under team sending. Okay. And I could select which agents I wanted to enroll in either an automation or a broadcast. And what will happen is we will automatically create an account for them. We will automatically send an email from them to their contacts with their email and their reply email and their signature. And any opens, clicks, or replies will sync to their CRM and go to them. And so what's crazy powerful about this feature is that as a team leader, I can automate the follow-up for my team or broker owner. And if I want to do like a new listing promotion, I can send out a new listing promotion or an important market update. I can send that out to my contacts, to my database on behalf of all my agents. Your agents never have to log into Better Email. We're not going to charge you a per seat pricing. You're not going to have to train your agents on how to use it. If you can send one email, you can send an email for, if you can send one email for one agent, you can send one email for 100 agents. That's how it works. So for our team leaders and our broker owners, I mean, it is incredibly, incredibly efficient. So we had a couple questions come in here, Lee. By the way, for all my team leaders on the call, is that clear? I want to make sure that's crystal clear in terms of how that functionality works.
I dropped an article in the chat on how it works, but I may have just sent it to somebody specific. Let me drop that in the chat too.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll include it. We'll include that for everybody else. Someone asked us, Mia's like, why don't you build a CRM? Great question, Mia.
Because
One,
we know people that have built CRMs. We know how it is.
yeah, one tool at a time. Great question.
Don't get Jimmy started. Let's
I Next week, better CRM. That's a good name. What is the recommendation for email campaigns for prospecting clients? Yeah, so Robin, I would recommend putting my prospects on the deal of the week. I would not put my clients on deal of the week, prospects on deal of the week, and I would actually send the email of the week to everyone. Okay, great question, Robin. So just to be clear, again, everyone's got a different organization in their CRM. I keep things insanely simple. Okay, which is email of the week goes out to my entire database, and then deal of the week goes out to my prospects. And then when we create templates for you in what's up, Rob? When we create templates for you in your template library, as an example, more often than not, they're written for your entire database. Okay, more often than not, we're written
Yeah.
for your entire database because the thing is that content is the best filter. When you provide a ton of content, you create a ton of content, it is the best filter. It identifies who's interested and not interested,
Right.
as an
And
example.
to your point of bringing something new, it's something they can't get somewhere else. You're aggregating some type of information or something because you're an
Yep.
expert. So they truly can't get it somewhere else. So
Yeah.
it really is valuable, and you just got to do it.
Well, and I'll end
Thanks,
with
Lee.
this. I think because we're a little bit over because we have some questions, but I'll end with this, which is one of the things that we try to do with Better Email is we wanted to create not only a tool that was incredibly useful, where we leverage AI, we leverage automation, we leverage being able to tap into your database and be able to come up with creative ways to sort of remove friction, but we want to make this like the world's simplest tool. And I don't know about you guys. Like, let me know in the chat. Like, how many of you would rather have something that's just insanely simple? Like, I'm looking right now at this stage of my career. I'm looking for simple tools that just do the job. In this case, which is sending emails. Right. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for things that have 16,000 different widgets and 17,000 different options. I'm just looking to send an email. That's all I'm looking to do. And that is the most important part of this whole product is that whether it's automated or it's broadcast emails, I mean, it's click, 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 and you're done. So on that note, if you have any other questions, reach out to our support team, support at trybetteremail.com. Lee will drop the link in the chat for you. Thank you guys so much for being part of today's live onboarding session. We are thrilled to have all of you joining us, being a part of this community. Anything we can do to help make this easier, better, faster, smarter, we're on it. We have a very aggressive roadmap. But if you want the founder pricing, you can sign up today. We have 72% off your first month.
Yeah,
Thanks.
no code, no nothing. I'm sorry to interrupt, Jimmy, but
Yep,
people asking if they need a code or anything. Hit it today. You got 72 off. You're good.
that's exactly right. Thanks so much, everybody.